All right, folks, we'll start in just a moment. All right, folks, I'm having an issue with the chat. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're good now. All right, so let's get started here. So for today, May the 22nd, we have the following information. So we have G7 meetings all day. Not expecting a significant impact there. 8:30 a.m. we have we had unemployment claims come out, which came out as expected, 227,000, slightly less than expected, but within the range of normal expectations. At 9:45 a.m., we'll have flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. Both are major reports, so we should expect substantial impact from that. At 10 a.m., we'll have existing home sales, which is a moderately important report, so we should also expect some impact. Then at 2 p.m., we'll have FOMC member Williams speaking. Light impact is expected for that. All right, moving along, taking a look here at the pre-market here for the QQQ ETF. We did not see a decline in the, well, we did. We see again this characteristic pre-market decline and then suddenly it recovers. We've been seeing this over and over again for day after day after day. It's the same pattern that in this case we gapped higher. You'll see a sell-off and then the market recovers either pre-market or after the market opens, which is essentially what we saw yesterday. You see it right there. Post-market, pre-market, sell-off, then it starts to recover, and then after the market opens, we basically recoup all the losses. Although we did see a sharp decline yesterday, which some have attributed to issues with the spending bill. Okay, so we'll see what happens, but obviously we're going to be trading towards the lower end of the recent range. Taking a look here, you can see that we are currently not trading vastly lower than we have been recently, but let's just take a look at the context. So if we look over here, actually let me change this to a 15-minute chart. As you can see over here, we're not trading at the lower lows like that we saw in April, but we're trading in the lower end of the recent range that we've seen. Okay, just hanging towards the highs of the year, but or the not highs of the year, but the recent higher trading range. All right. Having said that, we did find a few opportunities yesterday. Let's take a look at those, at least the ones that we put out as alerts in the room. First up is Moderna, mRNA. That was able to reach target number 2 to the downside of 26.29, but we were not in it. I barely got ticked out of our opportunity in the room, and then it went to proceed to go down to target number 2. So sometimes that happens. This is where this little area right there, where my mouse is circling, is where we got ticked out. Then it went back to trend and eventually hit T2 right about there. Next up is Meta, which this case we got stopped out early after getting into the opportunity. The stock came back down and stopped us out over here. Then later on it went up, didn't hit T2, but went up to a high of 646.61 before totally turning around. And last we got ARM. This one did exactly what it should do. We were able to get to target number 2 to the upside of 134.46, and it eventually peaked at 135.34, an area that we knew was very likely to get hit. Then after that, with the rest of the market, it collapsed. So basically, we had a win, a very slight win, and a loss. So for yesterday's trading. Now, taking a look here at the pre-market, here's what I see so far. Okay, so we're just going to run through these stocks. First up is CLSK. That is currently up 6.43% on about 1.3 million shares, trading at least $1 per share. So CLSK is added. Next up is CRWV, which is presently only up 4%, so that will not count. We'll skip that one. Next up is DGXX. That's currently up 9.66% on 18.7 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll add that to our list. And next up is ENPH. That is currently far, far down. It's down 21.3%, about 1.9 million shares, at least $1 per share, of course. Let's see. Solar shares slide after House passes Trump tax bill. Solar companies, including Sunrun, First Solar, and SolarEdge, declined after taking a hit from last-minute changes passed in the House of Representatives for President Trump's tax and spending bill. Among the changes included in the bill that passed in the Republican-led House was revised language that would end certain tax credits for wind energy and solar energy by 2028 instead of a slower phase out through 2031. The bill now moves to the Senate. All right. Next up is, well, EMPH will, of course, be added to the list. Next up is KIDZ, KIDZ. That is presently up about 23% on 9 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add KIDZ to our list. Next up is LAES, which is presently up about 5.5%. So not up enough, but close. We'll add that to our possibilities list. 3 million shares, over $1 per share. All right, so LAES, not on our main list, but noted as a possibility. Next up is, this one I don't think qualifies, but I'll check. Lucid, nope, only 0.35%. Next up, we'll look at LTRY. That is presently down 7.9% on 3.8 million shares. It is at least $1 per share. It was down more, so we'll add that, LTRY, to our list. Next up is Mara. which is presently up about 5%. So not up enough, so we'll skip that one. Let's look at microalgo MLGO, which is presently up about 8% on 15 million shares, at least $1 per share. It's fluctuating a lot, but we'll add that MLGO to our list. Next up is NVIDIA, which I know hasn't moved much, 0.6% up. So that means NVDL won't have done, has not done much either. So we'll skip that. Let's check out NVTS. That is presently up 160% on 46.6 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that NVTS to our list. Next up is PLTR. Okay, that one doesn't qualify, so we'll skip. Next up is RGTI, which is presently, well, only 1.37%, so not enough, so we'll skip that. RXRX, that's up 1.6%, so we'll skip that. SINT, SINT, and that's down 5.26%, 4.7 million shares. Not down enough, so we'll add that to our possibilities list. And let's see, next up is Tesla slightly down, but not much, 0.97%, so that won't qualify. Let's check out VIGL, which is currently up due to an announcement that Sanofi will acquire the company. So we won't be adding that to the list since there's nothing that we can really do with it. Next up is Wolf. Oh, sorry, not Wolf, sorry. Next up is XAGE, which is currently up 64%, 15.5 million shares. And of course, it's at least $1 per share. We'll add that to our list. Yep, that's a buyout. KDLY. We didn't go over that yet, I guess. That's currently up 30%, but it's not up on enough volume. We need it to be at 1 million shares, so not there yet. All right, so folks, if you see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, let me know in the chat. 4 criteria are: it must be a NASDAQ listed stock trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session. It must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume in this session, and it should be at a 6% price change or greater at this moment. So any other stocks that meet those 4 criteria, let me know. I see CGC, Canopy Growth, as mentioned. That's currently up 6.67%, 3 million shares over, and it's at least $1 per share. So CGC is at it. And Run, as mentioned, RUN. That's currently down 34% on 8 million shares, at least $1 per share. Yep, so we'll add that to our list as well. All right, folks, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's Pre-Market Pulse. Please be sure to like the video. See, we have 9 likes, but more than 9 people watching. So please be sure to hit that like button, which greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You'll get notifications, of course. And if anyone's watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone who's part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 14 minutes or so, and we'll pick up for today's session. Okay? All right, folks, have a great trading day, and I'll see you for tomorrow's Pre-Market Pulse. Take care.